All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Bellwoods Brewery, and they are out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and this is their Greenbelly. So this is a triple IPA that comes in at 10% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed, time of review, and this can is just over 2 months old. So I'm super excited because we are getting rock solid distribution of Bellwoods beers here in the West New York area. We've been getting their stuff for many years. However, the last 6 to 8 months, we've been getting a lot of their hop forward beers, and they show up relatively fresh. Now, when I picked this one up, I think it was like maybe 6 or 7 weeks old. Kept cold the entire time, so not super fresh, just being, it's just over 2 months old, but fresh enough. And this is something I've never had from them before, so I'm here for it. So let's crack this one open, get in the glass, I was gonna say glass tag, hashtag proper glassware, and go from there. So, like I said, I haven't had this one before, but I know they've done variants of this. I think they did a Galaxy variant. They've done a Triple Citra variant, but this is just the base beer, and I've never had the base beer or any of the variants, so I thought I'd pick it up. And here we are. And yeah, pour the hashtag proper glassware. That's what we're doing. Something like that. It's rare I can say hashtag proper glassware for Bellwoods beers because, again, I haven't reviewed a lot of them, even though I have a lot of glassware from them. So, yeah, this one looks absolutely fantastic in the glass. Holy shit. Looks like orange juice. Has like a darker orange color. 2 fingers of this super creamy off-white colored head. Looks absolutely fantastic in glass. Like, if we're talking about, like, hey, you know, you want a hazy of some sort? Hazy triple IPA? This is the beer that I'm hoping for in the glass. Hold it up to the light, murky turbid, the whole 9. Can't see through it. It's a good nose. Jesus. For something that's over 2 months old, it is screaming just stone fruits. Just screaming the stone fruits off the top here. Yes, it is over-ripened mango, over-ripened peach, apricot, maybe even papaya. A little bit of like an orange, a touch of, and you know, it's a little bit older, so I'm getting a touch of like the orange marmalade, but it's maybe a touch of berry too, like a nondescript red berry. There's this nice, like dank kind of earthy vibe. You know what? Let me take that back. Let me go back in. Yeah, it's melon, and it's more like a cantaloupe or a honeydew closer to the rind. Yeah, that's what it is, like cantaloupe and honeydew. They don't say what hops they're using. Like I said, they do a bunch of different variants. I don't know what the base in terms of the hops, but yeah, I mean, this smells super vibrant being over 2 months old. And like I said, you know, you have the hashtag proper glassware. It looks absolutely fantastic in the proper glassware, does it? Let's see. Should I pour the rest in here and try to get it right to the top? You see all the Instagram pics that are like right to the top, and it's like, oh, that looks so cool. Does it really, though? I don't know. Does it matter? Who the fuck cares, Joe? Just drink the fucking thing. All right, we're going to drink it. So yeah, this smells awesome. Cheers, everyone. Very juicy. And that's a word I do not use on my channel a lot. If you watch the channel, I don't know what it is about like New England IPAs, hazy IPAs. I don't say juicy a lot. I'll say it occasionally, but not a lot. And it's because a lot of the beers to me don't come off super juicy, like drinking like an orange juice or pineapple juice or some kind of actually fruit juice. So I don't say it a lot, but that first sip was like, you buy some of those mixed fruit juices, like you took like peach, mango, and like orange juice and just mixed it. That's what's in this glass. Buying this is big, but not too big. It's like lower side of full, 10%. I'm cool with that. It definitely has a viscosity that's noticeable, but not over the top. The mouthfeel has a mild to moderate carbonation. It's smooth. It's softer than anticipated. I shouldn't say it's softer than anticipated because, you know, it's a hazy. I anticipate it to be a little bit softer. So it's proper as far as like the carbonation is concerned, but it's smooth and it has a creaminess to it. Really nice. Soft. It's soft on the palate to my expectations. It's not quite like pillowy, like crazy in that term or in those terms, but you know this is a hazy or a triple New England IPA because the mouthfeel is proper. The taste, listen, the nose carried over front to back, tons of different fruit characteristics. There's juicy orange, tangerine, there's peach, there's apricot, there's mango, papaya. But again, it's more juicy, sweeter fruit tones, but it's not too sweet. This isn't like over the top, which is nice, but it's definitely noticeable that, yes, it is juicy in terms of the fruit character. A little bit of that marmalade, not too much. No real malt character, so this one's actually holding up extremely well. It was kept cold the entire time. I think I mentioned that earlier. So the hops probably fell off a little bit, but not a lot, which is nice. On the second half of the palate, however, this finishes semi to full-on dry, and there's this nice, like, dank earthiness that hits the palate that kind of breaks up the monotony of all that sweet, juicy character. I forgot this is 10%. Yeah, this is 10%. Drinks like it's like 8. If you'd have told me this is like a Hop Butcher 7.5%, 8% double IPA, I'd be like, yeah, for sure. There's a little bit of warming in the chest, nothing on the palate. Very well done. One more sip. I would like a little bit more bitterness here to kind of balance it out even more. I think the dryness helps quite a bit, but it's still a little bit too juicy and sweet, where I think by the time I get down to the last 3 or 4 ounces of this, it might be a little bit too, this is probably the improper word, but rich. Usually I use that rich word for like big, like barrel-aged stouts and pastry stouts and stuff, but there is a richness here from that fruit, like juicy fruit character, that I think might be a bit much by the time I get to the last 3 or 4 ounces of this. But as is, it's a really fucking tasty and delicious beer. I just want a little bit more bitterness. Give me a mild to moderate bitterness, and I think I'm good to go. It really doesn't have any bitterness to speak of. Maybe like a very mild bitterness. That's a fucking great beer for being over 2 months old, and it's a very good beer in general. And it's Bellwoods. Should I be surprised? I should. They're one of my favorite Canadian craft breweries, and the fact that we can get relatively fresh stuff from them now here in West New York, I'm super thrilled about it. So Greenbelly from Bellwoods, I am going to give this a high 4.25. I'm going to go 4.3 out of 5. That's where I'm going to land with this one. Just a delicious triple IPA. The Pros hides the alcohol quite well. If you like juicy and fruity triple IPAs, this is your jam. The one big knock on it, again, is the lack of bitterness. I'd like a little bit more bitterness, although here's the thing. The style dictates that there shouldn't be a big bitterness. It is a hazy or a New England. They don't really specify, they just say triple IPA, but a beer that looks like this, it's either a New England or a hazy. And I get that, but just, you know, I usually rate on personal preference. I'll do stylistically. Like, I put it this way, for a hazy or a New England triple, this is like a 4.5, 4.6 all day long. I knock it down a bit because of the lack of bitterness and the lack of complexity. It's more like juicy, fruity characteristics with that, like, that kind of dankness on the back of the palate, like that dank earthiness. And like, you get that rindy kind of melon character, like the honeydew and the cantaloupe. Yeah, that's pretty much what is left on my palate, like a rindy cantaloupe and honeydew melon. I like it though. And again, 4.3 out of 5 is a really good score. Price point availability, paid $6 for that can. You do the conversion rate, I'd say that's like what, around $8, maybe like $8.25 Canadian, give or take a couple cents. I would say that that is obviously steep. In Canada, I'm pretty sure you're not going to pay $8 Canadian for this. However, this is imported into the States. I don't have to cross the border. So, you know, paying an extra couple bucks. If this was like $5.50 or $6 a can in Canada, obviously it'd be more in like the $4.55 range in the States. So I'm paying, you know, an extra $1.50 to $2. I'm totally fine with that to be able to have Bellwoods, and I don't have to go more than 10, 15 minutes from my house to grab it. So, yeah, I'm fine with that price point. And availability, here's where I have no idea with Bellwoods. Outside of, they're obviously available in Ontario, Canada. They're available here in New York State. Outside of that, no idea. So if you live outside of the province of Ontario in Canada or the state of New York in the US, let me know if you get their stuff. I know some folks like overseas in the UK, they've gotten Bellwoods before. I'm sure people throughout different provinces in Canada have seen Bellwoods on their shelves, and I'm sure they've gotten distro to some different states here in the US, but I don't know what those are. So if you've seen anything from Bellwoods Bellwoods and you're not in New York State or Ontario, let me know. And if you've had this beer before, post in the comment section, let me know what you think about it. Really fucking good triple IPA. I don't drink a ton of triple IPAs, but I wanted to pick this one up because, again, I never had it before and it sounded pretty fucking good. And here we are, and it is. So anyway, to the next one. Cheers.